right.
Welcome back to the GSL with Tasteless and Artosis, and also, of course, Moon and Anypro Prime. Our maps are going to be Steps of War, Metalopolis, and Blistering Sands.
Well, Moon slimly lost that last match. But this one, Steps of War, that's going to be a hard-opening map for him. If Protoss just plays a pretty turtly game and keeps an eye on when Zerg is going Hive, that is going to be a very hard map for Zerg to win. Cost switches are going to be quick and brutal.
So if Moon can win a game in Game 1, chances are he's going to win the series.
If he wins Game 1, I'd be quite surprised. And I'd say, he's really impressing me here today. Tasteless looking like a much better Zerg.
Oh, you know what, actually, with this the kind of style that Moon has played in previous games, not counting today, that would actually be a good style to play on a map like Steps of War.
Yeah, he may want to do
some Harlem Globetrotter stuff. Some fancy stuff. Some would say gimmicky or cheesy, but something that is basically maybe something the Protoss can't quite prepare for.
Yeah.
And try to pull out a win that way, because this map, there's one map to start off with that's hard to win. It's going to be tough for Moon. It's going to be this one.
Certainly will be. Anypro has been outshined by Hongan thus far, but I would not be surprised if, from what we've heard, he is better again. He was certainly better before. A little bit more macro-oriented during the beta, at least, in style compared to Hongan. Hongan really does love one base attacks and two base attacks. But Steps of War, that's definitely a base that you're going to want to go to 3 bases. A map you're going to want to go to 3 bases against Zerg on.
The countdown's begun, so get ready for another ZVP here at the GSL. Over here in the red, our player from the previous series of Warcraft 3 Pro. They call him and now to our Protoss player, Hongan Prime's teammate, with a little bit of a different style put in there.
Anypro Prime win.
Right.
Anypro Prime.
It's time to see Tasteless. All right, Pylon on top of the ramp.
No fast expanding.
Nope.
For Anypro. No need to, really.
No Nexus first or Forge first, most likely.
The architecture of this map is one where Protoss gets to wear the daddy pants.
Yeah.
In the game.
This is a map, Tasteless, that when I play PvZ on it, I definitely love to go 3 Warp Gate expansion.
Yeah.
Start making Colossus and take a 3rd base, and then all you have to do is just scout that Hive over and over, and as soon as they start going Hive, Tasteless, you hit your timing attack, start some Void Ray production, and giggle as the Zerg goes, I hate Steps of War.
Well, it's one of these maps where it's up to the Zerg to react perfectly.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Now, when we say this, guys, we're not saying Zerg can't win and Zerg doesn't win on this map. We obviously know that's not true, but when you get to this level of play, it gets really difficult.
Oh, certainly, yes.
Because Zerg is a race that's based off out-expanding the opponent, just like it's characterized in the single player. The same is true when you're talking about just StarCraft multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's the same actual way to play it, to mass up and to consume the map and overwhelm them. And, of course, if you're very close together, that means the Zerg can get rushed, he can be beat up pretty hard early on, and that makes it pretty tough.
Yeah.
And then we're getting a close-up, and as you notice, the probe is the same size as the Scorpion inside the spawning pool.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. That's one of the big mysteries of StarCraft is where does the Scorpion go when the building
goes back
depletes?
into the creep, man.
He does?
Actually, I think he lives under the creep, and he comes up and builds any buildings you need to build.
Then what happens to the drone?
The drone becomes the building, man. You stretch its skin and stuff. It's some Quentin Tarantino type stuff.
The probe is like the Scorpion's like a physical therapist for the probe during the process.
Molds him into whatever building he is becoming.
Now, the probe, of course, is going to be picked off here, or at least pushed out. It looks like the probe should see the drone, though.
Yeah.
And know what Moon is trying to do.
Which is make a hatchery. Pretty obvious. That's what you kind of do.
It's what you do when you're Zerg.
Yeah. Anypro, by the way, Tasteless, I think we know exactly what he's doing. Notice one gas. Guess what that
means? He's going to do the 3 Warp Gate Rush.
4 Warp Gate Rush.
4 Warp
yeah,
Gate Rush. Excuse me. What am I saying?
Now, this rush is absolutely, positively, unequivocally the easiest top-level build order you can do. You just sit there, you make a bunch of Zealots and Stalkers, you can go kill your opponent. Now, Moon has to react perfectly to stop this.
When do you cut probes with this build?
You cut your probes as soon as you have your mineral patches at 16, which is exactly what he's doing.
All right,
here.
so 3 on gas, 16 on minerals. If you guys want to do this build at home.
Yeah, 2 per mineral patch, 3 on gas. You make your 4 warp gates, and then you walk out with Stalker Zealot. Now, if he's Zergling heavy, you go Zealot heavy, and if he's Roach heavy, you go Stalker heavy.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's a very simple build, very difficult to stop. Really, I mean, Zerg is going to want to stop at 20 drones approximately. Sometimes you can squeeze out a few more and start making nothing but speed Zerglings. And if your opponent doesn't make anything, if he makes too many Stalkers, you can just roll it right over.
Spine crawlers on the way. Those are not going to be too helpful.
Yeah, Spine's not as helpful as
Something
it would
is
be
better than
against
nothing.
anything else.
Yeah.
Spines are really good against sentry-based rushes.
Yeah.
But this type of rush deals a lot more damage than a sentry-based rush. So we're just going to have to see if Moon can hold this off. If those 3 Spines are up, obviously they're going to help out quite a bit, but he needs a lot of Zergling Stasis.
Stalkers and a Zealot coming out now.
Notice he's clearing the way with the first half of the army. He doesn't want him to see what is behind there. A lot of Zealots. Oh, my.
Now
tasteless.
he sees it. Now he knows.
All right. Moon right now making 6 Zerglings, moving forward some of his Spines. He's going to have to bring everything out. This is such a deadly rush.
No, Protoss making a pylon right there so he can warp in more units instantly. Spine Crawler positioning not exactly that good.
Moon
much better if they were in a line.
Moon doing a good job, though. I mean, he's got 3 Queens sitting there to help out.
Here we go.
Some transfusions saved up. Does not have any yet. The drone's coming down. Moon knows.
Oh,
he
but he kept the Spine Crawler alive.
Beautiful.
Protoss wanted to pull after he killed the Spine Crawler at the right.
Yeah.
This guy's saying, I'm getting out of here.
Oh, I like this. Moon trying to run that away. No!
Oh,
Moon coming
nice.
back.
That was like a hero save in War 3.
This is very nice by Moon so far. He's holding it brilliantly. Hongan making a lot more Zealots right now to try to bust through with that critical amount of damage. We will see Tasis here.
Uh-oh, this is the wrong time for Moon to unburrow the Spines.
He should not have been unburrowing at all. And his Zergling's not going to do much against those Zealots, Tasteless. The Stalker's dealing with the Spine Crawlers. And will Moon have enough? Sending his drones into battle as well.
It's tough to say. The Zealots are all pretty low on HP, but the Spine Crawler setup right now is just not exactly kosher. It's this is pretty bad.
And it looks to me, Tasteless, like Anypro gonna get a win here.
You know what's funny is Moon had this. He just tried to resituate the Spine Crawlers.
Yeah, he had a decent shot of holding that,
yeah.
but I mean, you can't just keep on microing your Spine Crawlers. They take too long.
Way
this
too
is an
long to
attack
grow.
that never stops for more than a few seconds. And Anypro, Tasteless.
Anypro did it once again. A small mistake by Moon costs him the game.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Well, yeah, I don't want to say 100% he would have won, but yeah, I mean,
well, the game would have gone on.
Oh,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And you know that was the definitive moment where he lost the game. So
yeah,
there it is, GG. Yeah, the game definitely would have looked differently had he first of all put his Spine Crawlers in a reasonable setup instead of having some in the back, some in the front, putting them in a proper line. And then, of course, when his opponent runs away, I mean, it's a 4 Warp Gate rush. You know, for crying out loud. I mean,
yeah,
it's not going to stop.
Him around. Absolutely not.
That guy's not going home and going to expand.
Look, it would have been a lot better if he just didn't touch his Spine Crawlers after they were down. The red one running away, I like that because it had basically no hit points. It was going to die instantly. But all the other ones, trying to micro them at all, very wrong choice there by Moon. I'm surprised, by the way, that Anypro did this. It's a very all-in build. If you don't kill them, you lose.
It doesn't seem like the kind of build you should do against Moon anyways.
It
know what I
doesn't
mean?
seem like the type of build you should use on Steps of War. This is a build that you use on a map where you're like, okay, this is Blistering Sands. I'm scared. Okay, I'm scared of the mid-game here. I'm going to do this crazy all-in, and we'll see how it goes. Not on Steps of War. I swear, Tasteless, I play Zerg and Protoss.
No, I know.
This map is so easy, Protoss versus Zerg.
Yeah, it's really not the right kind of build to do. The countdown started, though. So we're going to go into game number 2. Let's see if Moon could come back in this series or if Anypro is going to do this. Let's go.